Hello there. I'm about to share with you one of the most profound experiences that ever happened to me in my life. It happened 7 days ago during the full moon of January 2022. In short, I communicated with my now transitioned mother who passed away in 2018. I want to very briefly talk about how that happened, what occurred, and the experience and insights and transformations that ensued. On that night, I had taken some THC edible Nutella. After about 90 minutes, the edible started to work and kick in. As that was happening, I did two meditations. The first was a Kundalini meditation called Kirtan Kriya. It's a very old and well-known meditation. It involves mantra and pressing different pressure points on your fingertips while reciting a mantra. And you do this for about 11 or 12 minutes. And it is to help balance the four sides of the brain, to help bring it into equilibrium. After that, I decided to do another meditation, one that I've done before. It's called the Braid of Three Truths. It was introduced to me by a yogi and healer on Aloe Moves named Anna Forrest. And you identify three experiences in your life. One where you have received love, one where you have given and generated love, and one where your appreciation, gratitudes genuinely flow forth. I identified a time where my mother would bake me birthday cakes and send them to me because I wasn't always home. I lived in Washington, D.C., she lived in Connecticut. And so for most of the last decade, she would send me cakes in the mail. And I thought that was just such an act of love. And I could feel it. I could feel it right here on my left side. For my memory of loving another, I just thought of my fiance's, whimsical smile after he makes a joke or a funny remark, and just how light my body and heart feels when he does that. And then the third is an appreciation. It kind of kicked in around a love language I have for food. And his mother, my fiance's mother, Dawn, she cooks delicious food, and she had been cooking for us all week, and so that memory was so fresh, and I just felt so appreciative that someone, gives their time, energy, and love to nourish me. And as I'm having these three emotions, you imagine them that they become cords running down from your head down to your pelvis. And these cords had colors: red, orange, yellow. Now, I have a condition called synesthesia, where typically this is usually associated with music, where you hear certain notes and your mind registers certain colors. It's a form of mental association. And in this particular case, each chord had a different color: red, orange, yellow. You then tie the braids together in your mind's eye to create a strong braid, and then you breathe on it to strengthen it and liven it up. As that happened, I felt myself on the floor, and I could feel and see the braid running down from my head down. But then my body dissolved in my mind's eye, and the whole space around me turned into this blue-black orb. And where I was on the floor, the apartment, had all just kind of dissolved, as if you were looking out into space with these moving blue blocks moving all around. And right in front of me, as I can see the cord of myself and feeling it strongly, this beautiful, amazing feeling of love and appreciation, three lights spur up in front of me in this black-blue space, which seemed to go on forever. A yellow light and two red lights come up like spotlights. And I can see very clearly in a yellowish orange light my mother, with her face, with her long hair, staring right at me, so kind and so gentle. there are two red lights with Jadon and his mom. Now, they were at his sister's at the time. And they weren't looking at me, but they were kind of side-eyed to me. And I looked at my mother, and I said, hi. She said, hi back. And I said, I love you. She said, I love you too. I asked her why Jadon and Dawn weren't looking at me. She said, well, they're not fully here. Their energy was there. Their inner being, the extension of their physical selves was there, but their conscious attention was elsewhere. But they were present. And then my mother and I started to have a conversation. I had many questions. What should I do with my life? Where do we go when we die? What are the things I need to keep in mind? And there were a few things that came up over and over again. Dominance is futile. Anything I try to do where I try to dominate, insert myself, assert, force, is futile. It's a futile effort. It's pushing against something that doesn't need to be pushed against. The need to dominate, different from the need to speak up, to clarify, to correct. Those are actions. The will to dominate is the idea that I will then control others through this. Something I have reflected on much of my life, especially in my former political career, when you would get into arguments with people, or even evangelizing people on fitness and wellness and yoga, and really trying to preach and try to convert and control and think, wow, won't I be happy if I can just influence these people? But it comes from a place of dominance, which at the end of it is nothing. And that feeling of dominance is nothing, most things are nothing, everything besides our core of love and appreciation really is a dance of air. And that's what I felt lying down there in this blue and black universe with these lights shining. My mother, Jadon and his mom, and my cord. My body had fallen away, my limbs, my senses. All I could do was feel. She also said there's nothing to fear, that there really is nothing to fear in life. And that they've got us. Those who have transitioned into spirit are watching us, they're guiding us, they're always sending us impulses, and they love us so much and want to see us create and explore and be and become and enjoy ourselves and have pleasure and have fun. And they got us. So to not fear, to not worry. She told me to use my public speaking. I'd been in the theater for many years. I had been in politics and public service at school, in my community for a long, long time. And she said, use your voice. Use your courage in speaking and in standing to help other people. Whether that's to inspire, to uplift, to inform, to educate, but not to dominate and not to instill fear. And I promised her I wouldn't. At the end of the conversation, I see in the corner of this blue-black space fireworks going off, and I can hear them going off. And I can see them. Orange fireworks exploding to my, down right, as they'd say in theater. And I thanked my mom. I opened my eyes. I walked out onto the porch, and I saw orange and red fireworks. What I had seen in my mind's eye was exactly what was happening out there. There was nothing going on that full moon day in January here in Savannah, but someone was lighting fireworks. It was a celebration. It was a manifestation of the colors, the energies, the thoughts I felt.